One of C.S. Lewis's most famous quoted arguments for Jesus being who he said he was is that he is either a liar, lunatic, or Lord. If you consider that Jesus was a practicing Jew at a time when it would be the highest order of blasphemy if you called yourself God, I would say that C.S. Lewis had a pretty fair assessment of what was going on. In Mark 1:22, Jesus was teaching and preaching with an authority unlike any of the scribes or Pharisees or anybody else of his time and day. And in John 8:58 through 59, Jesus claims to be God, saying that before Abraham was, I am, using the name for God as though he were equal to God. So when Jesus says in John 14:6 that he is the way, the truth, and the life, and that no one comes to the Father except through him, then you either have to take him as planning out some elaborate false scheme that he's just plain bonkers, or he's telling us reality. While other religions have great teachers or leaders or prophets that will give you their doctrine or the practices of that religion, none of them will make a claim so bold as what Jesus did. More than that, we see that the life of Jesus gives evidence that he is the way, the only way to the Father. In our prior unapologetic sermon, Dr. Spivey talked about how Jesus was God incarnate, how Jesus was God in flesh. And Jesus as a man lived the perfect life. He followed God's law flawlessly, making no error and not departing from it one bit. Instead, he died on our behalf so that we might be in the right relationship with God as he was. And then God resurrected Jesus to prove that what Jesus said was true, making following Jesus the only religion in which the work is done for you, and you don't have to work in order to inherit heaven, because Jesus has done the work for us. Ephesians 2:8 tells us that it's by faith, not by works, that we're saved, so that no man can boast, because it is the gift of God, and that gift of God is eternal life to whoever trusts Jesus as their Lord. There is no other way to heaven. To think so would either to be believing a falsehood, or it's just plain loony. Join us March 13th, in person or online, as Dr. Spivey teaches us how truly following Jesus Christ is unique from all other religions this world has to offer.